Good morning or afternoon or whenever you may be watching. Today is a beautiful January day, and by beautiful I mean it is really cold and it's kind of snowing right now. I don't know if it stopped or if it's still snowing. It's kind of that powdery snow, so it's hard to tell. I think it is, yeah. Right as I said that, the snow is coming down some more. But I'm having kind of a little bit of a New Year reset kind of day, just trying to get my routines a little bit back in order. I've been a little bit chaotic lately, not gonna lie, and I really need to kind of get my schedule a little bit more in order. It's been okay, I've still been getting things done, but I like to get up and get things done really early in the morning, and I've been like napping in the day. I've been doing a lot of things, and I know it's okay to nap, but it's not okay for me to nap, honestly, because I refuse to get up once I'm napping, and that's not good. So my goal is to just kind of get my life a little bit more in order for the beginning of the year, because there's a lot of change that is just around the corner, and I am really excited. I'm not going to share it here yet, but it's coming. Lots of big, huge changes right at the beginning of the year. So, wow, that's really exciting. I was thinking I might go on a walk, but considering as soon as I walked out of the house, I felt my eyeballs freezing out of my head, I may hold off on that and just go ahead and go do some grocery shopping, because that's also something I need to do. I went ahead and whipped up some bread, so that would be rising so that I can bake it when I get back probably. And I also got some chickpeas on to soak, because I was thinking I might either make some hummus, or I really like to make kind of a chickpea spread for sandwiches. So that's kind of the combo I was thinking with the bread and chickpeas. That'd be pretty good. We're just gonna go ahead and see what the day brings us, but I thought I would take you along for some of it, because maybe it'll help you get inspired to kind of get your life together a little bit too. It's always fun to kind of reevaluate, rethink, and just kind of try to get your life reset a little bit, especially at the beginning of the year. But I'm gonna go ahead and buckle up, because safety first, and then I'm gonna put you away so that I can get driving. Hello. It has been a day, a day that I feel went okay. I was pretty lazy today, not gonna lie, but I am getting things back on track, and something that I thought would be nice to share in this kind of January reset video is something I think is really important that more people should do as a hobby that just helps keep your brain balanced a little bit, and that is journaling. And I have my planner. This is my planner. And planning things out is also really helpful. But I also, in this planner, like to journal every single day. It really helps me to, one, practice some gratitude. I think it's really important for people to reflect on the day, no matter how bad or terrible or upset you are with how the day went, to think about the positive aspects of that day and just the positive aspects of your life in general, because we always have something that we should be grateful for, and that is really where our mind should be, opposed to the negative. So that's one, that it can really help you practice daily gratitude, but also it helps you to see how the day went, where your mind was at, and it can make it be easier to improve or change a little bit for the next day. So, for example, last night, I wrote that I was a little bit discouraged with something going on with my finances, which, that's how it is. That's just life, really. But I did, take the time to acknowledge that. Being grateful and positive doesn't mean you shouldn't acknowledge like the little bumps in the road. I think if you pretend that they're not there, then it leads to possible, blowing up and just crying some point later down the line, which is not the best. So it's good to acknowledge it. But then the next day, I really had kind of a breakthrough a little bit, or a different way of looking at it. And so I felt a lot better. And I made note of that too. So it can be really nice to just go back and see how you were feeling and then the improvements that are already happening, or go back and see maybe something you were thinking about or really praying for, and then being able to see that realized later down the line. That is just a big blessing too, to just be able to look back and be like, whoa, I wanted everything I have right now, and now I have it. It's really cool. Another thing I really like to kind of journal about, which is great for the new year, is kind of making a list of your values. And then with those values, then you can form your intentions or your goals for the year or the month or the week, however you want to look at it, in whatever time you may be thinking about doing this. It doesn't have to be for a new year. But thinking about it this way really helps to frame where maybe some of the goals you have are coming from, or why you want to do certain things. If you know the value, your personal value behind it, it can really be helpful. So in my journal, for example, I have my faith as number one. That's really important to me. And so knowing that, I have a bunch of different intentions on how I want to go about my life to reflect that that is a high value of mine. Some examples of intentions could be like reading the word daily or practicing verses. Other categories that I have, for example, are health. So I prioritize living a healthy life. Also, just the value of your relationships, like friendships, having the intention to be a good friend, be a good family member, things like that. I've been blessed with a lot more friends over the past year, and so that is something that is really important to me now, which is maintaining those friendships, because I can be kind of a, hobbit hiding out in my little hole by myself sometimes. So shout out to my one friend that has been watching my videos, even though I tell them not to. So if you're watching this, you're cringe, but hi, how's it going? But journaling down these values and then having these intentions, that is a much better way to then go into the goals, which is a big one people do. They like to write down their goals for the new year, or resolutions, some people say. So I'd recommend trying that strategy if you haven't, but definitely journaling is a great practice to get into this year for just getting your life together a little bit more and just being a little more intentional with your life. So I'm going to go ahead and check off all of the things I have done already today. That helps my brain feel a little bit better about itself when I make lists and check things off, because then I know I actually did something. I'm the kind of person that I don't ever really realize that I did anything in the day. Like, I always feel like I could have or should have done more, and probably that is true, but also sometimes I'm a little hard on myself, for sure. I need to know that I can't do everything all the time that I want to. So it is really satisfying to check things off. Like right now, I can check off that I filmed for this video, because that's what I'm doing right now. So it really helps me to stay accountable, but also to feel better about myself. So that's a good thing. And then after I'm done doing that, then I will go ahead and do my journaling for the day, get those reflections down, get my gratitude in for sure. And then we'll see what the evening holds. I will probably catch up with you again tomorrow. Hopefully it is not as cold. Maybe we can get out there and do a nice walk. Or if not, I'll bring along with some of my exercise routine. I was going really strong with my exercising, my workouts. I was walking every day, as well as working out at least 5, if not 6 or more days a week. But of course, as winter does, it makes you slow down, which slowing down during the winter is not a bad thing. It can be kind of nice to roll with the seasons, kind of have your life kind of be tied with the seasons a little bit. But as we're nearing spring, I definitely want to start that blooming process a little bit more and get back into the swing of things for sure. Even though winter is definitely slower and waking up early doesn't feel as nice because even almost close to 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun is still barely coming up. So it's not as big of a deal. At least I don't feel as much pressure on myself to want to wake up early with the sunrise when it's winter because it's still dark. But we're going to start establishing these routines better again and definitely establish a more consistent routine, I think would be good for my brain. So I think that is going to be the goal, especially with the upcoming life changes that are going to be happening. I think I mentioned briefly this morning, but I'm not going to say anything yet. Things still need to be finalized and determined fully, but I'll definitely put something about it on here when those things happen, which is really exciting, and I cannot wait. But I think I will leave you there, folks, for now, and I will catch up with you probably tomorrow. Hello, it is another day. So it is wicked cold outside, so I'm not planning on walking today, but I definitely want to get in my workout for the day. And today I'm going to be focusing on arms, specifically triceps, abs, and glutes. So behind me you'll see I have 2 8-pound weights. That's going to be for the triceps. Also, I have a resistant band for the glutes. That's going to be really helpful. And I always like to add abs just onto pretty much any workout because it's super easy to just do even 5 minutes of abs and just get some of that in for the day. I think a high misconception that people may have when first starting to work out, when you are trying to focus on building muscle, it's not about the amount of reps you're doing or how much time you're spending on it necessarily, but it's really about the overload on the muscles that you're doing. So of course you want to keep good form because if not, you could risk injury or just focusing on the wrong muscle groups. But it's definitely better to do a few really hard reps that really overloaded the muscles and make you really feel it, opposed to spending 20 minutes doing the same motion that you're not super feeling it on until maybe the end. That is how you will most likely achieve the best results for muscle growth. So if you're new to maybe working out or strength training this year, I'm super new myself, so don't just take my advice. But know that you don't have to invest tons and tons of time in the day to be able to say you got a good workout in. Of course, the more time you can spend, that's probably the better to a certain point. But just focus on getting those muscles used and having them do some work, because that's where you'll see really good results really soon off the bat as well. You want to feel that soreness for the next day or so. I've definitely been really enjoying this kind of journey of being more into specific exercising. I've always enjoyed things like hiking or just other fun activities like that, like rock climbing even, but I haven't been super into working out, which is fine, but I really do enjoy the process of putting hard work into something and then seeing the results, like getting stronger and just things that are healthy for your body too. I always enjoy. So hopefully this can encourage you to start whatever health journey or fitness workout journey you want to go on to. But I'm going to go ahead and lay back down and get started with some of my workouts. So we're going to start with the triceps. I got these 8-pound weights here. I just upgraded recently from 5 pounds to 8 pounds because it was starting to get too easy. So some of the movements I like to do, I do it on both sides, is 1, in to up. Another one, back to up. Another one, down to up. And another one all the way back here to just a little bit up. This one is, oh my goodness, that was hard to do. You do that one with holding both hands on the one weight, which is why that felt crazy. But I'm just going to go ahead and get this workout in, and I'll see you afterwards. That was a good one. That was a good workout. now I'm gonna go ahead and go make my bed, which I probably should have done earlier, and put on some real clothes for the day. I don't know if you can hear Oakley. He is barking. I gotta check on him. But then I'm gonna go ahead and, with the chickpeas that I was soaking yesterday, cook them up and turn them into a nice spread and make a sandwich with some of the homemade bread I made yesterday too. So that'll be good for a nice lunch. So yes, if there's anybody wondering if I still sleep on the floor, the answer is yes. This is a train wreck though. I think this is Oakley. I think I can blame this on Oakley. But yes, I am not planning on going back to bed anytime soon. Anytime that is just me I have to worry about. I love sleeping on the floor. And no, I don't plan on getting a futon either. Futons, you have to worry about the molding. This is literally perfect. This is so easy. And I've had zero, I count them, zero back or neck problems at all since I've been sleeping on the floor. So if you haven't tried it yet, try it, especially if you're somebody that wakes up with random aches and pains that you can't explain and you don't have any other like real health issues to worry about. Sleep on the floor. But instead of just talking about it, I really need to make this up because what is going on here? And yes, I sleep with stuffed animals still. This is my snail. So of course you can do floor beds a multitude of ways, but what I find works really great is putting something thicker, like a comforter, down first. I'd say you definitely want to make sure you do that if you're right on a wood floor, but even on this floor, it just kind of makes things feel a little more cozy. Of course, we got our pillows, and just like I would a normal bed, I do a sheet and then a blanket. Boom! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you wanted to, you could of course put another comforter on top, but I don't find it necessary. But it's so easy. And then say you want to use the space in a room for other things during the day, you don't want it to always just be out. It's so easy to just fold it together and roll it up. Bada bing, bada boom. Out of the way, and then now ready for bedtime. Perfect. This is peak relaxation right here. But I better get up now and get dressed before I just fall asleep. Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Treating every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. It is nearing the evening already, so I'm gonna wrap this video up with supper because I'm gonna make one of my favorite meals, which is steak. And I also like to do caramelized onions, and I've been getting into mushrooms more recently. I used to not like mushrooms that much, more just a texture thing, but I found that if I chop it really small, I actually do really enjoy it. So I'm gonna make steak, caramelized onions, mushrooms sauteed all together. It's gonna be really delicious. I'm really excited to eat it, honestly. And I hope I don't make you too jealous with it. You'll just have to go ahead and make it yourself. That's going to do it for the video today. If you liked it and would like to see more in the future, please consider subscribing to join this community of like-minded folk. Where's the baby? And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.